I'm sorry, kiddo, I really am. You have a good soul. And I hate giving good people bad news.
I'm Tony, he's Mike, and today we kick off the month of love. Aww. With 1986's hot, sweaty, funky monkey love, King Kong lives.
How's our boy doing?
Incredible.
Now easy, big guy, hold on.
They're approximately 50 feet tall, wearing their birthday suits.
God, look at the size of him.
Did you say your beast is a female?
He was trying to get to the female.
America's biggest hero is back. King Kong lives.
This is the point where Dino De Laurentiis was all over the board, and they decided, hey, let's make a sequel to King Kong. And someone was like, hey, didn't he like get all shot up and then fall off that building at the end? And they're like, we can work with that. Fuck it.
Yeah. and they did. This stars. Hang on a second here.
It's Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, it is Linda
number
Hamilton,
one.
and the guy that is not Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. And it also has Taggart from Beverly Hills Cop as the raging colonel, the angry colonel who just lives to shoot monkeys.
Well, we should have no problem identifying the enemy. They're approximately 50 feet tall, wearing their birthday suit. Now make sure every man's got a mask, and he's got it ready, right side up. The chopper start dumping that gas. I want the apes dropping, not us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just to do the setup here real quick. So we have our quick little recap of the '76 King Kong.
Yep.
Kong gets shot up, falls off the building. Well, 10 years later, they go to the slab, and you have Linda Hamilton there, and there's Kong. They have him on a ventilator. He needs a heart transplant, but he also needs a blood transfusion. It's like, well, how are we gonna get enough, monkey blood for King Kong?
Yes.
Well, lucky for them, our hero Mitch, who happens to be in Borneo, discovers that there's a lady Kong. The natives catch him like that.
Yeah,
it's like super easy, some blow darts and some knockout shit.
Well,
and,
they were prepped for it this time.
Oh yeah, they were absolutely. Ship Lady Kong back to the States. Mitch makes a deal with the lab, and they have the surgery. It's a success, but they have Lady Kong stashed a mile away. But if you remember from our previous episode, Kong can smell a hot piece of whatever a mile away.
Sweaty monkey love.
Yes, from a mile away. And from there, monkey shenanigans ensue.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, we did our Fuck You It's January selections.
Yes.
And there was plenty of hot garbage to go around, and yet somehow this film surpassed all of those. I'm trying to figure out how the hell they got Linda Hamilton. She must have needed a paycheck really bad, because she was already fairly established at this point.
Well, I mean, she did Terminator in 84, 85
yeah, well,
is when
Children
that
of the
came
Corn
out.
too.
Which, I mean, Children of the Corn was exactly like, setting the world on fire.
No.
And Terminator haven't even become a cult classic as of yet.
Yeah, well,
So-
it was
so
a
there's
box
that.
office hit. It was a box office hit, but it was not a success. But speaking of, this was anything but. This movie bombed hard.
No, you're wrong.
but-
You're wrong. This is a box office success. 10 million brought in 50 million, so 5 times its return.
I was going to say,
So,
actually,
you're wrong.
Well, actually, here in the States, you didn't let me finish my sentence. apparently it was the second largest grossing film that was released in Russia.
All right, comrade.
And for some reason, like nobody here, like the critics hated this movie. The box office was like nothing on this. It was like $10 million here in the U.S., possibly less. He'll throw numbers up here, but for some reason, the Russians loved this film, and they went and saw it again and again and again and again and again.
Well, I imagine the Russians didn't have access to, good quality Western films, so I mean...
They still didn't.
I know, so they got fucking some, like, cut up bullshit fucking cinema. I mean, because this is hot garbage. Yeah, sure, right. This movie's a tremendous piece of shit.
It is a piece of shit. It's a complete piece of shit. But I'm going to tell you right now, number one, I was completely entertained. And number two, I was laughing my ass off. Just like everything in this movie is absurd from the word go.
Yes.
It was like any excuse to get the monkeys on screen. Number one, the female Kong, that was the cheapest looking costume that I've ever seen, ever. It was...
The male Kong wasn't much better.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It looked much better in 76. I don't know what happened 10 years later.
Rick Baker was not involved in the makeup effects on this one. That's
go.
what happened on this one.
That's it. Yeah, because you didn't have the sexy eyes in this Kong that you did in the previous Kong.
What did I say? Sexy eyes.
You did have a creepy smile, though. They mastered the creepy smile on this one. Okay, so we kick it off, and like I said, they have the heart transplant, and apparently Kong has been kept in a coma for a decade at this point. And while he's been in a coma, they've been working on this mechanical heart all this time, and when they bring it in, it's like the size of a Volkswagen.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
He's a big boy, man.
When they
put a fucking speed queen in that motherfucker, man. That thing was huge.
When they do the whole surgery, like everything about that is absurd because there's like the press is all in the windows and they're watching while this open heart surgery is going on, and then they're like lowering the heart in with like, I don't know, an engine crane or some shit.
Yeah.
And it almost falls and kills the surgical team. But there they are with their giant, I don't know, concrete saw, and they're hacking into Kong.
The best part is like they blew up like everything. So there's a giant blood bag. That's about 10 feet fucking tall.
That is great. So we have all that, and then they lower the heart into position, and then there's Kong, and he's laying there, and he's, they're tracking his progress and all that, and then he gets a whiff of Lady Kong, and that's enough to make him stir out of his sedated comatose state.
That horny son of a bitch. He smells the female a mile away.
and naturally, he's got to get up and pull himself up through the roof. And there's the security guard going, Chief, we got a problem, Chief. And then they keep cutting back to him like 5-6 times. The more they cut back to him, the funnier it is because he's just standing there looking up, talking on his little walkie-talkie. Chief! They apparently had they had built an enclosure for Lady Kong that they were supposed to move her to, but they didn't get it done in time. So Kong gets out, he walks to where Lady Kong is and then breaks her out, and then he's got to pick her up and carry her across the threshold like his bride, and they run off into the mountains.
And there you have some of the silliest love scenes you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Yes.
It is so funny. It's like,
When
it's like watching, I'm sorry about the beep, that sounds like watching two kids with trying to fucking hook up.
He's giving her a bouquet of trees, and then there's the whole bit with the snake, and where he's, I don't know what the fuck that was about. He's got this snake, and he's all.
That's fine eating back in Kong Island, man. That's some gourmet shit. You don't know any better.
You're not wrong, because later in the movie, like when Kong gets away after they've captured Lady Kong. He's like traipsing through the lakes and the swamps eating alligators.
There's like a fucking pile of fucking alligator carcasses.
And then we have that like they stole the scene from Jaws where the guys are go out of the boat to hunt down the shark that killed the country boy, and naturally they're all like liquored up rubes.
You there? Are those weapons loaded?
You bet, General. And so are we.
And they somehow manage to capture Kong in a landslide. And then they decide that they're going to teach Kong some manners by burning him with the torch, at which point Kong gets loose and just smacks the shit out of all of them and eats one of the guys. And I was like, wow, they went there.
They did, and like that, he smiled afterward. That was a tasty meal there. A sweet taste of satisfaction.
And he picked the hat out of his teeth. Okay, they knew they were making hot garbage. They went for it, man. Like whoever had the worst idea, that's what we're shooting today, Bob. And then we have Mitch and Linda Hamilton's character, and they have their romance that is budding alongside of all of this.
And you know what? I'm going to say this. Their love was way more convincing than Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese's love making was. Michael Biehn cannot do a love scene, at least
not that we've seen.
At least not the guy that's not Jeff Bridges does a better job.
I'm just going to say, we've seen 2 love scenes with Kyle Reese, one in The Terminator and then the other one in the Action Bowl last season.
Yeah.
And they were both kind of scarring. They've scared me from any future love scenes.
So which was worse, Michael Bihn's lovemaking or the guy from The Room?
Oh,
Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau.
Who's the worst love maker?
Oh, I'm going with Michael Biehn. So, I mean, at least Tommy Wiseau knew he was in a piece of shit.
Well, no, he didn't.
He wrote it and directed it. He convinced himself otherwise. But yeah, at the end of the day, he's like, it's a comedy. It's like, no, it's not. Shut up. But okay, so back to Kong Lives. Can you explain to me why this movie exists at all? So it was really just that. It was just...
Dino needed money. And I don't know why, because he did Blue Velvet this year, but I don't know how well Blue Velvet did. I didn't look that up.
And Transformers the movie. And Blue Velvet did do well.
I don't think Transformers, that movie, did all that
great.
No,
Transformers did not do well. It was a very expensive movie. And then it was also apparently at the time that it came out like a critically scarring film. They're like, this is too much for kids. And yet here we are with our emotional scars 40 years later going, I don't know what you're talking about. Transformers the movie is great. So, yeah, sure, you killed Optimus Prime, but it's great. Shut up.
So back to Kong. So just to wrap up this whole stupid fucking plot here. Oh, geez, they capture Lady Kong again. They take her back to the base. They keep her in the silo.
Yeah, they fly the helicopters with the giant joints, and then they get her high.
It doesn't matter. We don't need to go into fucking details on this one. So they get her in there. Kong busts her out. And while they're trying to run away, the military hunts them down. We find out that Lady Kong is pregnant. She gives birth in a barn. Kong gets shot up trying to defend her. They have the tender moment where Kong gets to hold his child just before he dies. And there's our end.
Yeah.
There's our love story.
So here's the question. Did King Kong die because of all the bullets that he had soaked? Or did he die because he had stepped on the electronic box that controlled his heart and Linda Hamilton was all, oh no, now he's only got 24 hours to live?
I would say it was a bit of both. I mean, he got shot up pretty fucking good. I think that shoot up scene was worse than the one in the original.
You know what? It was, for some reason, okay, the one in the original when they're shooting Kong on top of the World Trade Centers, I always remembered that as graphic, and it is. I mean, it's legitimately scaled. You know, so you're seeing the damage of 50 caliber bullets from machine guns, from helicopters, all this. And it looks right in the original movie. When you see this, it's like he's firing a handgun, but it's leaving bullet holes that are the size of, you know, a basketball. I don't know how that works. But yeah, the bullet holes on Kong in this one, they're much larger, they're much bloodier.
Yeah.
And he is definitely soaking up a lot of them. But he's also giving as good as he gets because he is taking it to task on the military vehicles, from the Jeeps to the armored personnel carriers to the spiked tank. The fact that when he actually does get a hold of the colonel, he smashes him so hard into the ground, and the only thing's left is his feet sticking out.
Come on, you bastard! Come on!
And I gotta admit, I was cheering when that scene happened. I was like, yeah, get him.
Yeah, Colonel Taggart was not a good character in this movie.
No,
he's
no,
a
not
dick.
at all. But
Yeah.
this is colossally stupid. It's insultingly dumb. I highly recommend it. I was thoroughly entertained. I was laughing so hard at how stupid this movie is. And if you can go in with the right mindset, you go in with the right frame of mind, you know that you're about to watch a steaming pile of hot garbage. This is entertaining. It is it is every dumbass thing you ever wanted from a King Kong movie, all served up on a big steaming pile.
Yeah. Yeah, where the first Kong is surprisingly competent, this one is surprisingly not.
Yeah.
Or non-surprisingly not, which kind of sucks, because it would have been nice to get like a decent sequel. But then again, I mean, the premise is so absurd. I mean, find a female ape and then have some fucking monkey love.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
I mean, well,
it's a really dumb idea.
See, and
but like you, I was still entertained. I mean, I'm not gonna go out and recommend this, but I mean, if you're like us, if you like torture yourself by watching stupid movies for fun, yes, watch it. But if you're just the average viewer, no, avoid this thing. It's awful.
I was gonna say there is one thing that they carry over, and they touch on it, but then they don't go anywhere with it, and that is when not Jeff Bridges finds Lady Kong in Borneo. She's obviously attracted to him. Apparently, Kongs have a thing for blondes.
You better watch out there, buddy. I think that little lady's got a crush on you.
And so I wish that they had fleshed that out a little bit more, or used that as a plot device. But once you've had a giant monkey fall off the World Trade Center or the Empire State Building, it's kind of hard to follow that one up. The only thing you can really do is like the original, where they went back to Skull Island and you found out that Kong had a son, and they did Son of Kong.
Yeah.
And they could have done that here, but they didn't. I'm also trying to figure out, how do you hide a giant monkey on Borneo when people are there all the time? Like, they're just kind of, oh yeah, we forgot to put that in the travel brochure. White tigers, giant monkeys, why not? What the hell?
Yeah, why didn't Tennessee Buck find Lady Kong later?
There you have it. I
There you go.
my case.
There's your sequel. The Further Adventures of Tennessee Buck and Lady Kong.
I'd watch it.
I would too. I gotta admit, I would watch it too.
Is there anything else you can say about this
Hell
movie?
no.
We will catch you next time.